Second Cup is brought to you by Roswell Park Comprehensive Care Center.
Good morning, everybody. It's 8 o'clock on a Tuesday, and we have another special guest with us this morning, Maki Becker.
Oh, thank
John,
you,
can
Katie.
you do this?
Thank you.
We've got a few of those that we can use.
Nice.
So
Love
we've
it.
got Maki in with us today, so we can hear a little bit more about Maki and also talk about, we've got some stories that we were going to talk about today that are things that have been going on in Buffalo for like a decade, or conversations that have been had for a long time. So you've been covering the area for a long time. I've been covering the area for a long time. I'm like, we could have a really good conversation about this because we have seen it play out.
Absolutely, and it keeps playing out and keeps happening. So yeah.
So what we want to hear from you this morning is what are your thoughts on downtown Buffalo? Now, we saw years ago, we had the whole conversation, Bass Pro, we got to bring people downtown. Well, then downtown kind of had its little revitalization, and there was stuff going on, and people did want to move down. So now we saw this little revitalization, and then the pandemic, and then people pulled back, and now we're not working downtown like we used to. So what would bring more people downtown is my question to you guys. And I'd love for you to drop some comments in and let us know what you'd like to see there. And while you're thinking about that, I just want to talk to Maki for a minute.
Sure.
Maki, okay. So just tell everybody your background, because when we're talking about you've been reporting here for a while.
Right. So I came over from being a print reporter, and I came to Buffalo 20 years ago now, right around this time of year, actually. And I worked at the Buffalo News for 18 years and before I came over here. And I live in the city. My husband is a professor at UB. I have two sons. They're both teenagers. One is about to go into college, which is like a huge thing. Literally in 2 days, we're taking him over to his dorm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Can you
yeah.
believe that's happening?
No. It is so weird. Like, we were literally at Target over the weekend, like getting all his stuff. Like, back to school shopping is completely different for dorms, right?
Sure, yep.
Yeah, so we're doing all that stuff, and there was a mom there with this beautiful brand new baby and a bassinet. I was like, you don't understand. This was me just like a second ago.
This was me 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my gosh.
yeah, a lot of feelings.
I know. Well, Maki's also a person in the newsroom. I'll come in and I'll be like, so the baby's doing this. Is this normal? She'll be like, normal, totally normal. The baby's doing this. Fine. He's fine.
Don't worry. But you worry. It's your baby.
Right.
And especially if you've, their little lives are in your hands, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Oh my gosh. So before we dive into our Buffalo related topics, what's like the hot dorm room thing?
So it's funny, like, once you start looking on, like, everything pops up on Facebook.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
The big thing is having the right kind of like outlet so that you've got all your USBs and USB-Cs
Totally.
and everything. Like, that's key.
Like the outlet that plugs into the outlet. So it's
Right.
got all the things you need.
That it's got absolutely everything. And how many do you need? And do you want it as a lamp? That's a huge thing. Mattress toppers too. Like, we all remember those extra long twins. Anyone who was in a dorm, those are horrible beds.
Yeah.
They still are. So what do you do to make them comfortable? Mattress pads and mattress toppers, and there are ones that are hundreds of dollars.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. No.
Yeah. We had a really nice mattress topper, and I can't remember where we got it from. I think it's because I had a futon at one point, like over the years, and I was like,
okay.
oh, if I have a guest come, we'll get this mattress topper. So we get this mattress topper. Well, my husband, similar story, has discovered how comfortable it is, so he takes it to the firehouse. So now we don't have it for the guests, but he's found this comfy mattress topper.
Okay.
At the firehouse all the time.
All right, well, I'll have to get the the recommendation. On that
Okay,
one.
so that, and then as a girl, I remember wanting everything to match and like the posters and the pictures and the picture frames. Are boys as concerned?
No. Not mine. I mean, he does like that. He wants posters, but we're like, why don't you just wait to see what your room's
The
like?
space. What is his
Yes.
room like? Is it the typical like little dorm room, 2 of everything?
Yeah, so it's a quad,
Oh,
which is
okay.
kind of fun. So he will have a roommate, and they share a bathroom with another double,
Okay, yep,
which is
yep.
kind of cool. And it's a nice
Is there a
bathroom.
little living room?
No.
Okay, so bathroom, 2 doubles.
Right, but like a nice long bathroom, 2 sinks.
Love.
It looks pretty nice,
Nice.
and on their floor, there's like common space where they can have like soundproof, study cubicles and all
Love.
that. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay, so this conversation's resonating here. Jen says
Okay.
hers is leaving as well.
Oh,
So sad. I am thrilled for her. Okay, Jen, where is she going? Let us know. We want to hear all the details.
yes.
The decode is big. What's decode? Anybody know? Or maybe she means decor.
Decor.
Je-
Yeah.
Heather,
okay.
let us know. And a headboard. I never would have thought
Oh.
about a headboard, but I could totally see.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people do the DIY ones. I did it a long time ago, and they're so cute. I could
Yeah.
definitely
Like the
see that.
lights, you could get those cute lights, right?
So cute.
That would be fun.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't think.
Denise has another year. She's already dreading all involved. Peter says, I have a couple USB towers. They're great, about $30 off Amazon.
Ooh, okay.
A couple of people asking where Ed is. He is on sabbatical. That's what I've been telling everybody.
Sabbatical. It's on
He's on
sabbatical.
sabbatical.
Yes.
He'll be back. He's on vacation.
Yes.
Kelsey, speaking of kids, Archer's in the top 10 for cutest toddlers, still in the running over thousands of kids. How exciting.
How
Yeah.
do you decide that?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'd be like, cute.
Yeah,
cute.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
right?
They're
Yeah.
all so adorable.
Yes.
Julie says her mother was the first woman to be city editor of the Buffalo News.
Get out.
She still calls it the Buffalo
That is
Eating News.
awesome. Wow. Wonderful. No, I think there are a lot of amazing women who have come through there.
Thank
Margaret
goodness.
Sullivan, Margaret Kenny, Giancola, who's the current editor in chief now. It's a pretty, it's there's some really great women
Yeah.
who've come through there.
Absolutely. It's a big
Yeah.
deal. And we're lucky we had them in our city or have
Yeah.
them still.
Absolutely.
My mom mentioning the one thing that I insisted I needed for college as well as the electric tart burner. These are really big
is
for a while. So do you remember instead of you couldn't have candles
Right.
because you couldn't have a flame?
Yeah, yeah.
But this was this little electric burner from like Bath and Body Works. You get them wherever, and the little tarts look like candles, but they're just wax, scented wax, and it would like scent your dorm room nicely.
Wow.
So I have to imagine. And from when I was in college, there was a big difference between the boys' floors and the girls' floors. Like the girls' floors, you'd be like, oh, what scent are you using today? Oh, that smells lovely. And then the boys' floors, you'd be like, oh, gym socks again.
We bought a lot of Febreze. We bought like extra large size. It's like, you're going to need this.
Now,
Yeah.
is it all boys' floors? How does it, boys, how does it go?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll find out.
I think that things have definitely changed since I was there. It used to be floor by floor, but that was at my college, I think.
Right.
And some places had building by building, some places.
or side by side.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's, I don't think they're as
Yeah.
strict about that sort of thing.
Yeah. Jen says her daughter's going to be going to Alfred.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Wonderful. Not too far,
yes.
but far.
Heather was saying
but
yes,
yeah.
decor. She had a spell check. She's been shopping with her daughter for the past week.
Yeah,
Heather says at UB there's not girl and boy floors, so sounds like
Oh.
everybody's all
Okay.
yeah. And then Anita says boys are stinky and messy.
Boys are stinky, but they're so adorable, right? They give
know.
the best hugs. Oh my gosh, my boys, and I know you're getting that. They're just like, Mom! You know?
My baby has now started doing the thing where if someone's holding him and he sees you, he goes,
Oh,
I know,
oh.
I know. Paul's like, I can't believe he started doing that. And I'm like, when I come home from work, like you kind of have to like move him over, but then he'll see you and he's like, and you just want, I just
Oh my
want to cry
gosh.
inside a little bit.
Yeah.
Peter's wondering what your son's majoring in.
He's going into he's going to be a teacher. Or he wants to. So he's going to UB actually, but he is going to go to the dorms. We want him to have that experience.
Great experience, yep.
And UB teaches an actually really cool program where it's like a 5-year thing where by the end of it you've got a master's.
Right.
So like your 4th year is kind of a combined thing, and you get lots of hands-on experience. It seems great. He loves the idea of being a teacher. It's interesting because he was not the greatest student, but he loves learning. And he loves kids. He's a lifeguard, city lifeguard right now. And he loves kids and he loves history. So
You think that's what he'll go?
I think so. Like he was doing, like thinking social studies teacher, but then he was doing an internship through his high school, and he was with little kids, and it was a STEM teacher who was working with little ones, and he's like, "This is great. They're so fun," and they were like climbing all over. Duncan, we love you, And he's like, "I don't know. Early education might be good, so we'll see." And I think he's got a little time to figure that out.
Yeah.
But
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
yeah.
Little kids are just a blast. The stuff they say is so funny.
Yes.
I can't get enough of them.
Yeah.
We were at the fair the other day, and my friends have a daughter. She's a little over 2. She doesn't talk a ton. You know, she says like very targeted things, very specific things.
Yes.
But at the very end of the fair, this is no reflection on the time that we had, but we were there for a couple hours. It was hot. We had seen a lot of stuff. We'd eaten whatever. She just goes, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
I about died laughing because at that point, so was I. We had been there for a couple hours. I was hot.
There's no filter. There's no filter.
I'm ready to go home. And I was like,
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was
No,
so
it's
cute.
a lot. Yeah.
So Jason says UB is a great school. And Peter does math. He's a math guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What does he want to teach? Math. Please say math. Please say math.
Ooh,
Yeah.
you know, so that was not his strong point. But you know, I mentioned the STEM class. He loved that.
Yeah.
You know, the teacher he was an aide to was really good at doing like just visualizing things and making it really interactive. And I think that sort of teaching he would do well at. You know, I mean, he struggled with math. You know, he's also, you know, he's a pandemic kid, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, you've been hearing about kids who were like born during or, you know, conceived, I guess,
Yeah,
during the
yeah.
pandemic. They're going into kindergarten now. So my son is like, they were the ones going into middle school.
Right. And those are formative years.
Absolutely. Adolescence was like boom, hitting, and then boom, you're locked in with your parents.
Yay.
Hey, so those are the kids who are freshmen.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a really interesting year.
That is going to be an interesting year. This is
Yeah.
going to be a lot of like, it's always a lot of first freedoms, right? When you go to college, but maybe even more so
Yeah.
for this group, you know?
I think it's going to be very different. There's going to be, I don't know. I hope they're ready for that.
I'm sure they will be.
Yes, yeah.
Anita says, listen, pandemic kids have been through it, which is true.
Yes. I mean, we all have, right? But I think with children, we're seeing how that's playing out.
Now, I did a story with Pat when her pandemic granddaughter was born. She saw her through the
Yeah.
door. You know, like this
Oh,
was, we didn't know. She was seeing her through the door. Hi, Pat. Katie, our pandemic baby Maeve is headed to kindergarten.
Right. And that's, I mean, how exciting. But like, yeah, those kids.
Yeah.
It
Very
was
interesting.
different. You know, they had those birthday parties with the cars coming by.
Yeah.
and-
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, not only an interesting college year, but an interesting kindergarten year too.
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. Paula says, my daughter worked summers as an aide at BOCES. She got a lot of valuable experience working with the kids. Highly recommended for your son.
I love that. Yeah, no, BOCES has the coolest programs. He's also very interested in the trades. Like at one point, he's like, I want to be a welder. I'm like, well, you know, I mean, okay, but make sure you have a degree too.
Right.
You know, I mean, there's so many of these kinds of occupations that could suddenly get AI'd out, right? Like, boom, robot's going to take that over. And I don't want that. You know, Buffalo knows this,
Yeah,
right? We
right.
know, you know, this city really got hit by all kinds of automation and you know, and changes in industries. So yeah.
That's very true.
But BOCES, absolutely.
Yeah. Paul always says too, because he's very handy. And so he is big into like, well, if Logan wants to, be a welder, it's a great example, an electrician, this, like he could totally, and I'm like, yeah, he could totally go that route. I do love the idea of college or something along those lines, just because I feel like it's such a huge change. And
Yes.
for me, I don't know, personally, I would have felt like going from being 18 years old directly into the workforce would have been tricky. It's kind of a nice transition if you're able to do it and if you're the kind of person who you think it would be beneficial for. I would like to see that for him because I just think you meet so many people. We love diversity in our city, but sometimes in the little pockets you don't see it as much, right? And when you go to a certain school, then you go to the next school, you maybe don't meet as many different kinds of people. You go to college and you meet everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. No, I think it's a good transition.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's like practice.
And if you weren't super involved in X, Y, and Z, now suddenly there's clubs for everything.
Right.
And people are interested in the stuff you're in. You're finding your people. Like, it's kind of fun. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about downtown Buffalo.
Yes.
It's gone through so many changes. So I was thinking back. Basically, what's happening now is Simonelli Real Estate is asking neighbors to weigh in. There's an online survey on what do you want to see downtown? How do you get more people downtown? What do you need to do down here to get people back and get people interested? And man, it started me thinking about Bass Pro. When we first were like, how do we really get people downtown? And then Bass Pro was the conversation, and that lasted for years, and then it never happened.
No.
We got
Well, no, Cabela. that
Right.
is Bass Pro now.
That's true. Right.
You know, and is that, I mean, it's a great store and it's huge and people go there, but is that kind of
Is
magnet?
it the anchor for the waterfront that we thought, you know?
No, it's not.
So I always said, and perhaps I'm stereotyping a little bit here, but I'm a shopper. And my girlfriends are shoppers. And we like to go places. We would make a day out of going and shopping. My husband would not. He would not go
Right.
shop, you know, whatever. And
Okay.
listen, you're going to have people from all different, you know, walks of life and different whatever. But I always thought Bass Pro, I would go, you know, maybe look at it once or twice. But like,
Right.
if there had been a store that had been of more interest to me, I would have gone down there a lot. So I always thought like a Crate and Barrel, a row of stores, a something little outdoor retail area, along with what we have at Canal Side, would have been good to get continuous
there's
shoppers.
nothing, right?
Continuous shopping, right? Mhm.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, but even retail's struggling now,
I know,
right?
and that's
People,
true too.
You know, we've lost those things. We used to have a there was a Crate and Barrel at one point, wasn't there?
I don't think there was.
No, oh, we had a Williams Sonoma, and that's gone, right?
Yeah. Jason says he'd like to see stores, including a department store too. And I always felt the same way, but also maybe I'm an anomaly. I still like to go to stores. I still like to shop.
Yeah.
Even though online shopping has been so popular. But I get it. People don't have time to. They don't. I like it. I don't go as much as I would like to.
Yeah, I mean, so before Buffalo, so I grew up. My formative years was in California, in Los Angeles, in the Valley. You've heard of Valley Girls,
Yes.
So I love malls. I love malls. They're like
too.
they were the best. When I was a teenager, there was nothing more fun and exciting. You know,
I can so relate to this.
right?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I loved it.
Uh-huh.
But I think there was a lot more variety. It wasn't just clothing stores, and I
Right.
think that's what you find. Now, I think malls are trying to be better about that. There's a lot more things you can do.
Yep.
You know, like the escape rooms. I think that's a kind of cool thing. But yeah, you can't just have clothes,
Right.
right? I mean,
Right.
you want clothes, but like, you know,
So Catalina says
Yeah.
definitely more work and businesses downtown. Corrine says, how about something that doesn't take a whole paycheck to enjoy?
oh, good point.
Anita
Yeah.
says Buffalo would need bigger companies to have their home office in the city.
But people don't want to come into offices as much,
That,
right?
See, that's the other thing too.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
And I really think a hybrid situation where you're maybe only in a couple days, you know, maybe not full work from home, but you've got the hybrid situation. The flexibility is really important to people.
Absolutely. Especially moms, right?
Moms, and you know what? If you can show, hey, I'm a good worker, I'm gonna get all this stuff done for you. You know I am. That's the kind of person I am. It's the kind of relationship we have. I just need to flex time out because you know, I gotta put my baby down for a nap. The caregiver needs a lunch break. Or I need to, you know, pick my son up and drop him off here. Like, I think that kind of flexibility is so important with workplaces.
Absolutely. It makes it easier. It makes it, you know, doctor's appointments.
Loyalty.
and
It develops loyalty too.
It does. It does. If you can do that, and I mean, you do have to work.
Yep,
You
yep.
know, that's
Oh,
the
for
thing.
sure, right.
And sometimes it's hard to do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to show it. But if you're doing your work, you know, you want that, but you also don't want to just be stuck at home.
Yeah.
You know, you do want that
Sure.
interactive relationship.
You want to talk to
Yeah.
adults.
You want to talk to adults. You want to talk to, but you know, there is, you know, as reporters, we know this, right? It's so
Yep.
important to be there, to meet the people, to see them eye to eye,
Yep.
right? It is a completely different thing than being on Zoom or just being on the phone. There's just something about that.
For sure. WAFA says local government needs to stop making big mistakes. Football field should have been downtown. University could have been downtown. More jobs downtown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Noreen says, how about some fun activities, affordable housing, safe to go, and safe places to live? Peter says, I feel like there's a section of Main Street in particular where Main Place Mall is a ghost town. I wish something could happen with those spaces. Paula says, to get people from the suburbs downtown, there needs to be easy access to downtown with cheap and easy parking, and it needs to be a safe place.
You hear about parking a lot, right?
You do hear about parking a lot.
confusing. People don't have that Roam app. I use it, and I find it pretty easy.
Right, the Roam app is what, yes. So it's the little Buffalo app.
Right.
And you put cash on your, put money on it, and then you just type in like, I'm in zone, the sign tells you 14,
Yeah.
boop, I can park here.
But
Go.
isn't it hard finding the zone?
It can be sometimes.
It's like which zone? I don't know. Does it
Right.
matter?
Does it say there?
Yes,
Does it say
yeah,
there?
It doesn't.
See,
You
yeah,
know that I think that's one of the weaknesses. It should have something that tells you
Yeah.
what zone you're in. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Like where your location should say you're in zone 13 here.
right.
That makes sense.
I don't know. Yeah, parking. You know, it was interesting when Sean Ryan was running for office. He talked about we've got to make downtown fun again.
Yeah.
You know, things like Thursday in the Square. Remember that?
Love Thursday in the Square. Yeah, I
Remember?
used to
I
go
mean, there
every
were
week in
great
college.
concerts.
Yeah.
When I first got here, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some great concerts that would come.
I feel like we saw the Brian Seltzer Orchestra here. Does that
Yeah,
sound
I
right?
think that
Uh-huh.
sounds right.
Uh-huh.
And was it Parliament? Or I mean, there were like
yeah,
funk
yeah.
band. I mean, it was
It
fun.
was fun.
It was like it was a party. You know, and there were there are things that come along with that too.
And you know what? For things like Thursday in the Square, things like that, you could take the subway down. Like we would park at
you were right there.
We would park at UB because I lived
Yeah.
in Amherst, right? We parked there and then go right down, and then that's a use of the subway. That's a getting off there.
Oh, Subway. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, well, that is something else too. Really quick. So a lot of people keep saying parking.
Parking.
Mary says it's
yeah.
always her issue. You have to pay to park.
We need more restaurants too, though. I mean, there aren't that many.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Chippewa, and you know, it's really mostly bars. There are places to eat, but like,
Yeah.
there aren't that many places like to have lunch.
Yeah,
You know, lunch is a
right.
great thing. You need that for a downtown.
You do.
With a workplace, and there are very few places, unfortunately. There's Thursday in the Square, which is great, where they bring in the what is it called? The food truck Thursday
food
or
truck,
whatever. You know.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it Tuesday or Thursday?
Food truck Tuesday.
That's Larkin.
Yes. Oh, you're talking Thursday. What's
in
the
Niagara
lunch one
Square.
called? Is it Food Truck Thursday, John? Food truck Thursday. Yeah, the lunchtime.
And
Yeah.
that's, you know, I think that's a great
Yep,
idea.
yep.
But we can't just have food trucks, right?
No.
Yeah.
Paula says she has the Rome app. The issue is suburbanites don't know how to parallel park. They are accustomed to
that's true.
expensive lots.
Yes.
Call me anytime you need to parallel park. That is one thing. I might not be the best driver in the world, but I'm freakishly good at parallel parking
You just have to practice.
because of this job.
Yes. Oh,
Because I had to learn how to do it. I had no choice. Sometimes you'd have to parallel park between news cars or do whatever. So that's one thing I'm
Yeah.
very good at.
Yeah, so I actually lived in New York City and had to drive in New York City as a reporter.
Oh, God.
Boy, do you learn a lot of driving things. And I can parallel park either side. I can parallel park in anything.
Yeah.
So,
It's all about lining everything up.
Yes.
Once you line it up, you're
Yes.
good to go.
And especially if you, with the backup camera, it makes it super easy.
right,
And
yeah.
you know, and there are other cars you can just hit the button and
Yeah.
it'll do it for you.
Oh boy,
right?
does my husband get mad too. Like we're in North Buffalo
Yeah.
and you know, we have the alternate side parking.
Oh yeah, we have that too.
So there's, and my mom too, when she comes to visit, in front of our house, you could fit 3 cars unless somebody parks. So you can't fit 3 cars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like, you could have fit 3 cars in this spot if this person would have just moved up 2 feet, couldn't move up 2 feet. I'm like, okay, every time.
yeah. Is it you? Are you
No,
the
it's
one
not
parking?
me.
No, okay. All right.
But boy, do we have a big picture window.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
You look up and you see us just like analyzing your parking. Yeah, yep,
Yes.
exactly. Okay, so let's talk about the NFTA.
Yeah.
Again, this
Okay.
is another thing, Maki, that we've been talking about for like a
Oh,
decade.
yeah.
More than a
Yeah,
decade, probably.
yeah.
So now they're talking, bringing up this conversation again. They want public opinion about the expansion,
Right.
basically through Tonawanda to Amherst. We take it out to UB, the 990.
Mhm.
What do you think? I mean, you've lived here a long time.
Something's got to be done.
Right.
You know, I mean, the subway is like, it's just one line, and I mean, it's kind of handy,
Mm-hmm.
but it's really, really limited, right? You know, now I don't see Buffalo doing like a full New York City style subway.
No.
No, that's
Right.
not going to happen. But to extend it out all the way to North Campus of UB, right, is the ultimate goal of this. What that would do for the economy, for young people wanting to be here. I mean, a lot of young people don't want cars. It's expensive.
Yeah. They're
Parking,
really expensive now,
right?
yeah.
Right. You know, if you can do that, you know,
Right.
and I think light rail is you're not going to go underground. No
So
way. Yeah.
here's the thing, too, that I think about when we talk about expanding to UB. For like 9 months of the year, you would have nonstop customers,
Mhm.
especially if you shuffled classes at UB such that a couple are on the Amherst campus, a couple are on the
Mhm,
South
mhm,
campus, you know, and you would definitely have people using it. You know, really the best use of it right now for people who don't live in the city is people from Clarence, Amherst, Tonawanda, park at UB South
Mhm.
and take it downtown.
Right.
They
right.
go to a concert. They go to the
Right.
Sabres games.
Absolutely.
They
and it
go
makes
to
it very convenient.
right, but like that's about it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it would be great to see. Um, is it going to happen? I don't know.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for so long. Light rail makes sense. I think that is probably the least disruptive. I personally would love to see a line that goes out along the 33 to the airport. Like, how are we not connected to the airport? Real City is going to have an easy way. We don't.
Right.
There's no shuttle. I mean, I guess some hotels have it, but
Yep.
like to not be connected to the airport, which isn't that far away.
No, it's an easy drive.
Yeah.
But it's a drive.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
It's an Uber pretty much. Or your friend, hey, can you drive me? Can you pick me
Right,
up?
right. So it is doable, but in terms of people visiting,
Right.
rental cars are so hard now, right? I mean, it is so expensive and crazy and Uber. And if you want people to come downtown, if you want like this, all this to be connected, I'd like to see that.
That makes
personally.
total sense. Anita says she wonders if it would be beneficial for the subway to extend out that far. Mary said the NFT only had one bus route going to Millersport Highway in the 70s and 80s. Not sure how it is now. Jason would like to see the subway in the suburbs.
So do you mean like going underground or
That's a great question.
or above ground?
I feel like light rail, I feel like either works.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the one is going to, got to be more labor intensive, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yeah,
no, I think it's much cheaper to stay above ground. But I also, understand there are people who live along those
yeah.
routes that they're talking about and what happens to them. How disruptive is it? Is it, what
Yep.
happens to street parking? What happens to all these things? I totally get that it is not like, oh, we can just have light rail and everything's fine.
Yeah.
It is going to impact people's homes. Now, do they sell those? Do they get eminent domain? What happens then? And that always is a struggle when it comes to any kind of giant public infrastructure project
It
like
sure
that.
is.
And that has to be done fairly. You have the greater good, but you also have people who have invested in their homes.
Yep. Peter says, I live near UB North. I park at UB South. I think if it goes to UB North, it could be utilized 12 months a year. UB has a shuttle between the North and South campus. Totally. I was just thinking maybe like not as much in the summer with the students or like that winter break that they have.
Right.
But there'd still be people using it.
Right.
Connie's daughter still uses it to go from Sabres games. Yep. Out in the suburbs down to the Sabres games. Paula says, I heard the Buffalo airport is closest to their base city across the country, 8-minute drive. Peter says, I would do underground because of the mess above ground. Could be on major streets. Yeah, I totally get it. It's a big thing to undertake no matter how you do it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why they're looking for all this public comment, public opinion. Like they want to know, I think specifically they want to know, would you use it?
Right. Yeah.
Would there
Yeah.
be people get rid of their cars to do that?
I think a lot of young people would be perfectly happy to do that. I think older people too, once you can't drive, right? If you have a convenient way to get up and down, maybe they go with a better bus system, something that's more express.
Another thing they've talked about.
Yeah, I mean, where I used to live in Los Angeles, in the suburbs there, like they are not connected by the subway, and that's a sprawling, crazy subway system. And some of it's great, and some
Yeah.
of it's like really hard to get to. There are these like bus lanes, and like these big bus stations that are meant to take you to downtown or
Yeah.
to other parts. And I think some people like it. I don't know. It's hard. It's a really hard thing.
Well, my mom drives out that way a lot. She says there's a lot of signs on the boulevard, no to Metro Rail.
Yes. Yeah. No, I know there is opposition.
Yeah.
I think the people who are directly in that line are not happy about that.
Well, Peter, boy, am I glad you asked. Can we have Maki on more often? She's fun. Would you like to come on again, Maki?
Well, yes, of course. And actually, I think we're already
How about Thursday?
actually Friday.
How about Friday?
Friday? Thursday. Okay, Thursday is the day that I'm taking Duncan to his dorm. I will not be okay.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that on Friday.
Yes, we will.
Will you share a picture on Friday, maybe?
Absolutely.
If he's okay with it.
Should we wake him up? At his dorm. Hey, it's mommy.
How's the first day? Mommy wants to know.
Yeah, how's your roomie?
I remember calling my parents. I know it's 8:30, John. We have to go. But I remember
Okay.
calling my parents like first night in my dorm. I was crying. My roommate worked overnight, so she got up at like 2 a.m. I wasn't used to that. Like
Aw.
you're sharing a room, and I was calling crying. My parents like, "Do you want to come to the hotel where we are?" And I was like, "No, I have to get used to it." Like a week later, I was fine. But rest assured, he'll be okay because I was a basket
I
case.
think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. And he's close enough, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, right, exactly. I was
Yes.
like, "No, Mom,
Yeah.
I'm tough. I promise."
You were a basket case?
Okay, John, on that note.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Thank you,
Oh.
everybody. We'll see you at Maki's back Friday.
Yes.
And we'll talk about
Thank you.
college.
Thanks for having me, Katie.
Bye. Oh, anytime, Maki.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.